President and CEO of North Arrow Minerals, and this presentation is intended just to provide a bit of background on our redemption project in the Northwest Territories and take you through the work that's been completed on it by ourselves and earlier workers and our plans for a drilling program in 2016 during March and April. As with most presentations of this type, just be aware that we'll be making forward-looking statements. Keep that in mind when you listen to what I have to say. North Arrow remains quite active. We have 7 exploration projects we're evaluating throughout Canada. This presentation is focused on Redemption, which is located in the Northwest Territories, not too far from the Ekati and Diavik diamond mines, so more of a brownfields type exploration environment, and in a jurisdiction, or at least a region, where the endowment and the diamond endowment is very well known and is world class. We're currently working to earn an interest in most of the Redemption project from Arctic Star, and we can earn that interest by spending a cumulative total of $5 million before July of 2017. So in terms of greater location within the Northwest Territories, this slide shows the mineral claims and the property in red at the west end of Lac de Gras, not too far from the Ekati and Diavik diamond mines, so just 30 or 40 kilometers from those deposits, and about 350 kilometers or so to the northeast of Yellowknife. Just zooming in a little bit, you can see the outline of the main part of the project, again at the west end of Lac de Gras, in relation to some of the known kimberlite occurrences in the region, as well as the Ekati and the Diavik mines. Also outlined in yellow, you can see the area of our Lac de Gras diamond project, which is a joint venture with Dominion Diamonds. But our focus for this presentation is Redemption, and the main reason we remain keen on the project is the South Coppermine Indicator Train. And this is a indicator mineral train that is very well defined. You can see it here on this image. The black area you see on the east side is the west end of Lac de Gras, and then you see all these colors of greens and reds. Those are chrome diopside and pyrote grains that have been recovered from till samples at the west end of Lac de Gras. And what you can really see is where there's the arrow that points to the South Coppermine Indicator Train, you can see that it kind of stops right in the middle of the image here. And off to the east or the right side, we can see a second train, which is called the Monument Indicator Train. And that train leads us back to the Monument kimberlites that are being evaluated by New Nadina. What makes the South Coppermine Train very intriguing is that it stops where it stops, and presently there are no known bedrock kimberlite sources feeding that train. And the goal of the upcoming drill program is certainly to try and find that source. In addition to the sheer numbers of indicator minerals that we're seeing, one of the positives is the presence of surface textures on some of the grains that indicate that they have not traveled very far, and that gives us some encouragement that a bedrock source should be pretty close at hand. North Arrow optioned the project from Arctic Star in July of 2013, and since then we did a fair bit of work. We flew an airborne gravity survey in 2013. We collected over 300 till samples, did some detailed modeling of the gravity results. Ground geophysical grids were completed in the spring of 2014. And that summer we did a modest drill program. We tested 7 targets, and unfortunately we did not find kimberlite as a result of of that drilling campaign. The targets were all located close to the head of the South Coppermine Train, or what we call the up ice termination. Did not hit kimberlite, but it remains that really very little drilling has been done on the project, and we are left with still a number of targets that we'd like to drill test. We've taken some time since the 2014 program. We did some more geophysics in the spring of 2015, but one development in the area has been a very detailed study of the superficial materials in the Lac de Gras area that's being completed by the Northwest Territories Geological Survey. And that study has included superficial mapping, looking at permafrost studies, and also some overburden drilling holes. And that has focused in the DO27 area off to the southeast, which would be Area 3 circled on this map. But also there's been some drilling completed by the government in the area of Redemption, which is in the area circled as Area 4 here. 52 holes were drilled in the general area of Redemption, and a lot of this could help get a better understanding of what's happening with the superficial geology processes on the project, and might help us with our interpretation of the best targets for future drilling. We followed that survey up. As that government work has been ongoing, we also completed some detailed superficial mapping of our own in August of 2015, getting a better handle on ice directions, on ice movements, and also, as I mentioned earlier, we completed some ground geophysics on 14 separate grids in 2015 as well, all of which is working towards coming up with targets we'd like to evaluate as part of the next round of drilling. Of course, in the current market environment, the biggest challenge with drilling is funding it. So in January 2016, we were able to raise $800,000 through the sale of 2 royalties to a director of North Arrow, Chris Jennings. The royalty was set up in 2 parts. There's a 1.25% royalty on North Arrow's potential interest in the claims and leases that are under option from Arctic Star, and a 1.5% royalty on North Arrow's claims off to the east of Redemption. And that royalty is firm. Obviously, selling a royalty on a pre-discovery stage project is unusual. I think it points to Dr. Jennings' belief in the project and the potential for discovery in this area. And what it has done for North Arrow is has allowed us the flexibility to move ahead with the drilling program at Redemption, while at the same time we're also conducting some drilling on our Piku project in Saskatchewan. It's allowed us to move forward more aggressively than we might otherwise, in considering the market environment, where we may have wanted to take more of a staged approach, drilling one project, seeing how it went, and then moving on to the next one. We're now in a position where we can quite comfortably move ahead with both projects at the same time. And the main reason we want to do that, of course, is there are a number of targets that we want to drill. So it's a selection of some of the geophysical images over some of the targets that will be tested. Part of this drilling program plan is to start in the middle part of March and be drilling through the end of April. Our primary method for testing these targets is going to be with the classic diamond drill and get core samples. The main reason for core drilling is we get a very good sample of a kimberlite when we discover it, and it allows us to get more meaningful microdiamond results from those samples. We are looking at an option to conduct a light reverse circulation drilling program at the same time, which might allow us to test a higher number of targets very rapidly. And that's something that is under consideration, and we'll be making a final decision on that in the next several weeks. Just back to an image of our property with showing the monument kimberlite trains and the location of the monument kimberlites, as well as the South Coppermine train. So our focus is going to remain testing targets that are located at the head of the South Coppermine train. The chemistry of those indicator minerals indicates they come from within the diamond stability field, and it's Lac de Gras. And you have a chance to find kimberlites in the Lac de Gras area, then you need to do that. You need to follow through on that because it is one of the richest diamond areas in the world. So this yellow box shows roughly where our focus is going to be in testing targets. If we move forward with the RC drilling component, then we might start moving and testing targets in a more rapid manner, a little bit further away from the head of the South Coppermine train and in some other areas. But as I said, we'll be making a final decision on exactly whether we move forward with the RC drilling component. But certainly the drilling component planning is well underway, and we plan to be commencing our mobilization into camp into the property in the middle of March, and then working on the project through the end of April. So there's certainly more information to come on this, and we'll be letting you know as we finalize our plans for the project. But there are a number of very compelling targets that are located on the Redemption project that have to get drill tested. There is a kimberlite bedrock source for these indicator minerals there somewhere, and the primary goal of this project is obviously in this upcoming drilling is to find those kimberlites. And we look forward to keeping you informed as we move forward on this.